Hello everyone, welcome to Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. Thank you so much for being here. And it's a sad day. It's a sad day. Our volunteers, it's their last working day. Now they are here tomorrow as well, and they'll be leaving Sunday. So it's a sad day, and it means I've got to struggle on my own, continuing. As you may or may not know, my husband is in the middle of 4 different eye surgeries. So we're struggling on by at the moment. I'm doing my stuff, his stuff, and everything else in between. But you know me, positivity, and I'm just grateful what I do have. I see we have, I nearly ended the stream then. I meant to hear comments. I see someone's in the chat. Hey, it's Blue's Self-Reliance. Guys, do go and check out Blue's channel. She is awesome. She has more than one. Blue, if you want to put your links to your channels, that would be great. Blue saying hi. I haven't forgotten. I need to make time with you. Do a face-to-face chat so I can get details, then do stuff. That couldn't have come at a better time, Blue. With my husband having his eye surgeries, it's so far away, and you may or may not know, I don't drive. There is no public transport near us at all. It would take us about 4 hours to even get into the vicinity of where the hospital is. So we're having to dig deep, and we are having to stay over when he's having his surgeries. And I'm just counting it like a holiday, because we're like right down to our knuckles to afford that. But it is the cheapest option for us, rather than taxis won't come up our mountain, and it's too far to walk down to where they would. So we're biting our knuckles, but we'll do anything to get his surgeries done. And there will be footage of the hotel we're staying at. It was the cheapest we could find. We was only looking for a bed. Oh, bless you, Blue. It worked out the cheapest we could get. We just wanted a bed and a shower and a toilet, but it was beautiful. It was 68, or it was less than 68 because of the taxes. So I think it was about 66 euros something, which was cheaper than we could do like an Airbnb or anything at all. Cheapest of proper Airbnbs in that area, because it's the middle of town, was, I think it was 200 and something a night. I was like, oh no, but we're fine, we're good. And as I say, I have got footage I will be posting on my other channel, New Beginnings, My Everyday Life in Rural Cyprus, to show you inside the hotel. It was quite nice. And the guy, we spoke to the manager there, and we explained we had 3 more to do, and he's basically given us his personal number. So we should get a good deal on the rest. Oh, bless you, Blue. Yes, guys, do go and check out Blue. Yes. It's because Airbnb, Blue's saying if you can't read the chat, jeepers, Airbnb is ridiculous at times. And this is why we stopped doing Airbnb for ourselves. We were hosts. And there's now, it's not just in Cyprus, it's all over the place. It's because of regulations. I get a bit wrong, but it's something like 200 or something, 250 euros for a host to pay in advance of taking bookings for a year. And we can't do that. I can't remember what we were charging, something like 36 a night for everything. And we can't afford to do that. So we're not a business, we just do it. So we just gave that up. Glad you found a good way. It's lovely. It's really nice. I will be posting that, so you will see, and also bits of Mike's surgery. I wasn't allowed in. It's a proper operating room. I wasn't allowed in, but what I did, I downloaded some footage from their website, I suppose, to show you what goes on in surgery. So I've put that in a video, so you will see all of that. Okay, bless you, Blue. So yes, guys, I was saying, do go and check out Blue Self-Reliance, and Morning Musings, I think, is the other channel. That was the channel I used to like the most, actually. I must go back and see if you posted anything else on there. That would be absolutely cool. So yes, go and check out Blue's Self-Reliance. And Blue's saying, lovely, proper Halloweeny stuff then. Cool, cool. Okay, I don't know what to start with today. What have I put first on the thumbnail? How olive oil is made from our olives. So I think we should start with that, and then I've got a quiz for you. Really funny stuff about fatherhood, really funny. So a few other bits as well. But let's start then with how olive oil is made from our olives. We have just about finished picking our 86 olive trees. So that's me and the volunteers. They were laughing. I did 2 whole areas because we have the lower olive grove, the upper olive grove, and then we've got over the far end of our land is another big lot of olive trees, and then random ones all over the place. And they were laughing. How did I do all of them and some of the lower olive grove, and they were still on their second tree? I said, I'm a professional. And it's all by hand, in case of you have seen other ways, and I have explained before why we pick by hand. It's our really good olive, and when we take them to the olive mill to be pressed, they are super impressed with the quality of our olives. We don't do this, drop them on the ground and damage them. Anyway, a lot of you have been asking me about how they get made into olive oil. So we pick them. We take them to the olive mill, which I'm going to show you the olive mill. We take them to the olive mill, and then they make it into the oil. So they crush them and wash them and everything. Blue says she's nicking some and pickling them. So we take them and they crush them. You'll see the process I'm going to show you. And we pay for that service. Then we bring that oil back, and you cannot use that oil. It would be like a bit cloudy or not right. We then have to filter it. And our oil, we choose to triple filter. So it's really good oil. So we triple filter it at home ourselves after it's been pressed. Yes, someone was asking me in the comments, Blue, a couple of days ago, aren't you tempted to just pick and eat them? Firstly, we hate olives. We absolutely cannot abide eating olives. We love the oil. So no. And secondly, as Blue said, you don't just eat them. You have to put them, there's different methods, different places. But yes, pickling them. Most people make a brine, but you cannot just eat the olives straight from the tree. And we had one volunteer one time, he said, oh yeah, I'm sure you can. So I help yourself. So like, so if you love olives, no, not from the tree. So I think we'll start with that first of all. So we will look at, this is a video I made. Obviously I can't show you live. This is a video I made of how olive oil is made from our olives. The olives begin a green colour. Slowly they turn to have a pinker tinge on them. When they are completely purple, this is when they will be ready for picking. Slowly, the olives are changing colour. The olives are nearly ready for picking. So I hope you enjoyed that. So that's a basic way that they are pressed. And let me go on to Zedjad. Oh, Blue said about she's nicking some and pickling the olives. She said, I didn't say I was sharing, but I'd happily pinch a basket to preserve and sit in a corner to scoff them by myself. It was very cool. Yes, very cool. There's two different olive mills near us, and they're always in rural areas. One does it slightly different from the other. One you saw in that video where they go in the big, if you like, the green bins, and then that gets weighed and they go up the conveyor belt. The other one doesn't have those. They get tipped into like a pit in the ground and they get weighed there, and then similar method, but that's what they do. Okay, well, I sort myself out. Let's go on to Friday. Friday, what's it called? Quote Corner. Okay, and don't forget, if you watch my other channel, you can enter my 5K quiz. That is going to finish on the 25th of November. There is a video. You'll see the 5K like this is the big thumbnail on my other channel, New Beginnings, my everyday life in rural Cyprus. And I'm doing the 5K giveaway, and it's like little questions about me. And if you want to enter it, you have to send me an email with as many answers as you want to do to enter. So don't forget, that will close on the 25th of November. Any emails after that, I cannot accept. And you've got some awesome prizes, very different. Okay, let's go on to this. Okay, so today I thought we would do the subject of early flight. Early flight. And if you're an older viewer, your earliest memories of flight was probably on the back of a pterodactyl. Ah, dear. Okay, so question 1. What was the surname of Wilbur and Orville, who designed the first ever heavier than air powered aircraft? I'm sure you will know this one. So I'll read all the questions first, then I'll go through the answers. So the first one was, what was the surname of Wilbur and Orville, who designed the first ever heavier than air powered aircraft? It'd help if I'm on the comments, really, wouldn't it? Blue says, right. Correct. You are right. Well done. Oh, you know about early flight. Let's see if you could get them all. The next question is, what was their aircraft called? What was their aircraft called? Oh, how did you know, said Blue, about the pterodactyl? I'm sure you've mentioned it before, Blue. Blue's younger than me, so I don't know if I'm laughing. Talking of which, Dawn has a big number birthday coming up in December, beginning of December. Ooh. Begins with a 6. Blue says the Kitty Hawk. No. The very, very first one. I know what you're thinking of. There's one prior to that. Okay, next question is, what did the first heavier than air powered aircraft use as fuel? Ooh. Ooh. What did the first heavier-than-air powered aircraft use as fuel? And the next one, in which century did the first ever manned aircraft take off? And I'll give you 3 options. Says Blue. Which century did the first ever manned aircraft take off? Was it the 16th, the 17th, or the 18th century? When I want to think of a date in history, I always think about like the Wright brothers. So I would think, what sort of clothing were they wearing? And that's a really good way to pinpoint a time in history. So if you ever get lost for, when was that? Think about people of that time, what they were wearing. Blue says, wasn't it just normal gas, like the stuff we use for central heating? Interesting. I'll go through the answers in a minute. We've got 2 more questions. The next one was, who made the first ever powered flight? Oh, I didn't know this one. Who made the first ever powered flight? I'll be impressed if anyone knows this one, because I've never even heard of the name, even seen it. I don't even know the name. I wonder if Mike would know these, as he was a vintage aircraft engineer. And he rebuilt some of these original planes. He actually rebuilt them, historical vintage aircraft. Okay, and the last one, and the person that we've just named, hopefully, what was his nationality? So if you know the nationality but not the name, guess a typical name of that country. This is what we need to do. Okie doke, let's see. Let's go through the answers then. The first question which Blue got right was, what was the surname of Wilbur and Orville, who designed the first ever heavier-than-air powered aircraft? And yes, it was the Wright brothers, so well done. The second one was, what was their aircraft called? Blue guessed the Kitty Hawk, but the first one was the Wright Flyer. The Wright Flyer. The next one. What did the first heavier-than-air powered aircraft use as fuel? Blue saying normal gas, like the stuff we use for central heating. The answer is petrol. So you were close. You was very close, very close. So something we still use today. Petrol, though. Petrol. I'm pretty sure they experimented with other stuff, but maybe they didn't get off the ground using other stuff. The next question was, in which century did the first ever manned aircraft take off? The 16th, the 17th, or the 18th century? And the answer is the 18th. 18th. I guess you could have thought possibly before that, but no, it's the 18th century. The next question was, who made the first ever powered flight? Blue saying John someone. Well, the answer here says Henry Gifford. Now, I've never heard of him at all. Henry Gifford. Henry with an I. And it's saying, what was his nationality? Blue was saying, was it UK? And the answer they have here is French. They have French. I'm going to see if we've got some more information on this, because this quiz book actually has some bits and pieces of history and different subjects that I do the quiz on. And I guess you're supposed to learn and then do the quiz afterwards and see what you remembered. So I'm going to see what it says about those things. Let's see if I can find, don't know what page it is. I've just got to flick through and try to figure it out. I don't know if it's got its own page or not. Let me see if I can find it. Early flight. Here we go. Early flight. It says, nowadays, many people take flight for granted. Every day, thousands of airplanes carry passengers all over the world. Yet it was only around 100 years ago that the first petrol-driven aircraft took to the skies. The very first flights were made in hot air balloons, airships, and unpowered winged gliders. And they got Da Vinci made a glider. They got the Montgolfier. The first ever manned aircraft was a hot air balloon built by the French Montgolfiers brothers on the 15th of October 1783. It lifted 25 metres above the city of Paris, France, and it was anchored with a rope to stop it floating away. Blue saying there have been lots of famous Henry Giffords, but I find it hard to find anything about flight. Well, that's why I was going to look here, because I didn't know that name at all. Now, it's got early gliders. People dreamed of flying long before they achieved it. The glider was designed by an Italian thinker and artist, Leonardo da Vinci, about the year 15,000. He also designed a type of helicopter with rotating blades, but neither of his flying machines was actually built. He was an amazing man. Then it says powered flights. The first heavier-than-air-powered aircraft, the Wright Flyer, took off on 17th of December 1903 in the USA. The first powered flight had already been made 50 years earlier by the Frenchman Henry Gifford in a steam-powered, steerable airship. Never heard of him. And then you've got about more different types of gliders. One was built by a German engineer, Otto Lilienthal. He built gliders, unpowered winged aircraft. He made the first controlled glider flights in 1861. Others had flown gliders, but had not been able to control them. And then you've got a monoplane. In 1909, a Frenchman, Louis Bleuvrot, became the first person to fly an airplane across the English Channel. He also designed and built some of the world's first successful monoplanes, airplanes with just 2 wings instead of 4 or 6. And then the last bit they've got is the Wright brothers. Wilbur and Orville Wright designed and built the first heavier-than-air powered aircraft. It had special lightweight petrol engine. The brothers went on to build aircraft for other people. Wow. Balloon. Oh, right, okay. Lucerne Rugby, English professor, actor, voice actor, writer. Finds it hard to find anything about the flight. Okay, it was a balloon. He flew a blooming balloon. That's cheating. Yeah, it's a balloon. Oh dear, that's quite funny. Quite funny. Yeah, I'm here to challenge your mind. Okay, what else have I put on the title that I was going to do? Oh, funny fatherhood. Funny fatherhood. So I think we should do a little bit on that. Now, this story time segment, as you know, if you watch my lives, it varies drastically. It might be me telling you something that's happened, or it might be me reading about something. We've done so many different types of story time, but the whole segment was devised by you, my viewers, a long time ago, when many, many of you say, you just love listening to my voice. Now, I'm not saying I've got a good voice, but you say my accent. Blue's like, nah, nah. But yes, particularly my American audience that watch back later, You love to find the story time. So today I was like, what shall I read? And I found this book. It's actually Mike's book, and it's called The Beginner's Guide to Fatherhood: How to Cope with Life Before, During, and After the Birth. And it's by Colin Bowles. And it's obviously a funny book. It says on the back, in these days of shared parenting and nouvelle fatherhood, the expectant father needs to do much more than bring home the wage packet, get drunk on Fridays, hit the children when requested by his wife, and pay for the daughter's wedding. So it's giving you a bit of a laugh. So I thought I'd read you a little bit of this and see where it goes. Will the fruit of your loins turn out to be a lemon? Already funny. Story time is fun, says Blue. Yeah, it's very varied, my story time. We were learning about the Thames River a couple of weeks ago. So very varied. Okay, it says, for years, men did not see fatherhood as a very demanding role. Their function was quite simple. They were supposed to bring home the wage packet, get drunk on Fridays, hit the children when requested by their wives, and pay for the daughter's wedding. They spent the rest of the time in the garden shed and making corner cupboards. Blue saying, no sudden movements, no flash photography, back away slowly. Times have changed. Back in the late 60s, about the time when people started to worry about the ozone layer and read the list of ingredients on barbecued flavoured crisp and say things like interpersonal relationships and worst case scenario, men discovered there might be more to manhood than scoring tries and discharging firearms at unarmed rabbits. Women actually demanded they take a hand in bringing up, rather than beating up, their own children. Fatherhood was invented. Men found it a bit more difficult than they thought. This book is merely a guide, a grade 1 primer. If you're a new father or about to become one, it may give you some idea of what to expect, and you may perhaps find a few helpful pointers on what to do and what not to do. If not, it may coax a few wistful smiles the next time you have a free moment, probably about 3 a.m. when your new son or daughter is finally asleep. Now, I'm not the classic perfect nouvelle father, quite the reverse. I've made my share of mistakes, and in the process I've learnt a few things, usually too late. I never read up beforehand. I thought fatherhood would be a breeze, and I'm still not sure whether preparations would have helped. Even if you enter fatherhood fully prepared and fully informed, fatigue and frustration will almost certainly cause you to lose your cool under pressure and forget everything when you need it most. You'll rant and rave and froth at the mouth, and the whole situation will deteriorate, and people will shout and cry and threaten. It will only be later on, when you calm down, that you'll realise what you should have done. Then, and only then, will you know what it's like to be a father. Congratulations. Until then, here are some pointers to be going on with. Blue saying, I dragged mine up kicking and screaming. So we'll read a little bit today, and then maybe we'll read a bit more next time. It says, this chapter is called A Brand New Concept, or Too Late Now, Sucker. Okay, fella, so you're going to have a baby. My goodness, do you realise what you've done? No. Chances are, probably not. Men come up with a lot of different reasons for having children. Some say they want to carry on the family name. I've heard this from guys with names like Dorkfield and Pecker. Or they say they want to have someone to look after them in their old age. This from a guy who has just registered Gramps into a local nursing home and has his furniture piled up on the full transit van outside, ready to take to the jumble sale on Saturday. Other guys tell you they did it because they wanted to keep their marriage together. This is like starting a civil war in order to take the population's mind off the balance of payment figures. Some men say it proves their masculinity, especially if it's a boy. His wife is pregnant and suddenly he's like Clint Eastwood with a smoking gun. Others reckon they have a subconscious longing for immortality. Well, having children does not make you want to live forever. In fact, most of the time in this first 12 months, you will wish you were dead. Other men do it because their wives have talked them into it. They tell their husbands they want a baby because it will fulfill them as a woman, as if spending 12 months in a housecoat with regurgitated milk stains on each shoulder makes them reincarnation of Julia Roberts. Very rarely will we hear men say, well, we decided to have children because my wife and I did terrible things when we were younger, and now we deserve to suffer. Most men get caught up in child rearing sort of by mistake or by default. The woman says she wants a baby, so the guy says, okay, and hums to himself and carries on rebuilding the motor of his Morgan or cleaning his football boots or anti-fouling his 40-foot yacht, not realising he's just agreed to give up all these things. He only realises what he's let himself in for when it's too late. There is some primal and irrational about reproducing. We are all madness at heart. When my wife and I decided to start a family, we were simply aware of a restlessness, a gap we needed to fill. We had just bought a parrot the previous year, but it had not turned out to be much of a tax advantage. So we went ahead and got ourselves pregnant. So I'll read one more little section. John Lennon was right. Imagine. Children are basically a failure of the imagination. Men and women have children because they sit in candlelit restaurants and imagine a tiny version of the baby Jesus wrapped in a pink blanket that goes goo-goo at them, and at whose cradle family and neighbours all come to worship. They imagine putting it to sleep at 6 o'clock every night in a nursery packed with musical mobiles and fluffy pink teddy bears. They do not imagine a baby Jesus that goo-goos a foul-smelling, mustard-like substance all over the pink blanket. They do not imagine that having the baby Jesus to sleep at 6 o'clock, they will have to repeat the performance every hour, on the hour, right through till breakfast. They do not imagine the toddler Jesus tearing the mobiles from the ceiling for recreation and using teddy bears as weapons. They do not contemplate that one day family and friends might view their child not as much as saviour of the world, but as evidence of possession. Plus, they do not imagine the sacrifices. For example, you relinquish the right to finish a sentence. You forfeit watching the news for watching Care Bear videos. A good night's sleep is something you won't be getting again until about the time of your superannuation's due. You also have to be prepared to sacrifice drinking leisurely cups of coffee in outdoor restaurants, admiring the view. You will give this up for bum fights in McDonald's, watching your children being pushed off equipment by other people's children. Aww. So how was it for you guys? Was it the dream or the nightmare, or a bit of both? Blue Sand, they certainly don't imagine their children could be used as an advertisement for birth control. Like it. Very good. Absolutely. Okie doke. Let's go on to this. Ooh, questions. Let me get a pencil so I don't repeat the question on another day. Let's see, what question shall we do today? What would your message in a bottle say? Ooh, what would your message in a bottle say? Let me think. I think mine would be a very typical message in a bottle. It would have my contact details, and I would just want you to contact me, and then I find new friends. So it would be a real message in a bottle, like, here's my contact, let me know where you found this at all. But if you had to put a message in a bottle that might not be found for years, and suddenly someone discovered it, what would be your message in a bottle? It's a bit like every house I've lived in, when I decorated, I always wrote all over the walls, like, interesting things about me. I used to live here and the dates I lived here, that kind of thing, before I wallpapered. In Cyprus, we don't really do wallpaper, so I haven't done it here. I tend not to just scribble on my walls, and I have no plans of ever leaving here. I wasn't sure I was going to leave my previous house, but I thought, oh, that'd be fun when I redecorate again, scrape the wallpaper off. I'll be like, oh, yeah, I put that there. But no intention. So I don't have to graffiti here because I've got no intentions of leaving here. No. We talked about this the other day. Oh, dear. We're talking about if you had to leave a message in a bottle, what would be the message you would put in a bottle? Oh, I definitely have to put the date on it when I wrote the message. Again, I think I'd just leave it almost like a time capsule. So I would put, I wrote this on blah, blah time. But if I had to put a message, I would put something like, just go for it. Do your dream, or if you can't do your dream today, do one step towards your dream, just something. So if you're thinking in the future you might like to move abroad, then start today learning the language, just something simple. Or instead of buying that lottery ticket or lotto ticket or whatever you buy, or that packet of cigarettes if you're that way inclined, put that money in a jar. Please put, I told you I wanted to be left alone. I told you I wanted to be left alone. That's quite funny. That is Blue. Blue is the kindest, sweetest person of all, but oh dear. Okay, I'm going to disappear for a second. I'll be right back. While I'm gone, watch this. So that was my emergency video. So that's the times on my main channel, New Beginnings, my everyday life in rural Cyprus. So do go and check that out and see what's on that channel. Some overlapping content, not the same content, some overlapping content, but a lot more. And as I always say, when you go on someone's channel, I always like to hit the playlist first and see what sort of content a channel makes, if they're just their main theme of what their channel may be titled, or like this one. Oh, there's so much content of so many different things, so do check that out. Blue says, I don't feel like it. Oh, is this what's going to be in your bottle? I don't feel like it this weekend. Honestly, I feel like an evil boggart. Oh, Blue. Oh, because I'm saying you're so lovely. Yes, but see, this is a good thing about YouTube. You can come on, you might be having the worst day going, and you come on, you're like, hello, everybody. So even though many of us are very genuine YouTubers, it doesn't mean you've got to be down in the dumps just because that's how you're feeling on the day you're live. Well, I'll cheer you up after I fish today. I don't normally do a long live on a Friday, as you will know if you're a regular viewer on Fridays on this channel, whereas I do just over an hour normally on my other channel each day. And it's because Friday, for me, this live starts at 2 p.m. and that's why I know I don't get many people come on, because it's to try and catch my Australians mostly, because they asked could I do a different time one so they could come on, and so that's why this is a random one. But as I say, I get views after, so thank you if you're watching this later. But what I normally do is do about half an hour on Fridays, and then because it's the middle of my day, I then go and do narration afterwards on a video or a live on my other channel or something like that, a spontaneous live. But because I've got my volunteers here, I'm not doing any editing or anything else this week. So I've got time to chat, and that made up for the last couple of Fridays. One was when we were coming back from the hospital. I got here just in time, but I wasn't in the let's say mood, that's not correct, but I wasn't in the frame of mind to sit and sort out a quiz and everything. So that's why you got film footage Friday only. Blue says, if Tanny calls me one more time, Mithers me about bacon. Oh, Mike's been going on about bacon all week, for goodness sake. Our volunteers got up one morning and cooked bacon, and Mike's like, I could be doing with bacon. But he does the shopping. So I said, well, if you buy bacon, I'll cook it for you. No, it's all right. What is it about men and bacon, for goodness sake? Men and bacon. Okay, let's do another question. If you wonder why I also do narration on a Friday, Mike goes shopping after lunchtime. So he's away. So no interruptions about bacon while I do my Friday lives. And then obviously he's not back because town is a long way away. He's not back. So I normally do a narration. Anything I need to add voiceover narration, or as I say, a live on randomly on my dance channel or something like that. They don't have set times. I just do one randomly. I've actually got next week, I must do another one on Friday. So there. Blue says, Tanny started a new job. Oh, delivering Whole Foods to restaurants and schools and stuff so he can buy the big catering packs. He's putting in his bacon order. Okay, another question. Let's do. This is my questions, by the way. I devise them and write them all down in a book. If you could instantly know everything about any one topic, what topic would you choose? If you could instantly know everything about any one topic, what topic would you choose? Oh, I think There's all very well like, oh, it'd be good to know that, maybe like a language or something like that. Oh, actually, yeah, language would be good. But I was thinking computers, and I'm talking not just how to work a computer, all these, you know, how right computer whizzes know anything and everything, just go, da, 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 there you go. That that would be useful. That would be like a hacker, like I'd be like the top hacker, not in a bad way, but just to go through all these like all these cookies, click on your cookie, and I'd just go into them on just like, no. That's what I would like. Blue saying, Tanny's new rule is that one pack is one serve. How many's in that? I've told him if he could eat 2.5 kilogram bacon in one sitting, I'm going to film it, make a fortune selling tickets. But sometimes men with their food, don't challenge them. They will do what it takes to win. I've just noticed I've got quite coloured pig in my olives. Yeah, so I think everything about computers, like everything, like, as I say, more like a hacker, just and like they've delved through so much stuff. Yeah, that would be good. You could earn good money on that as well, couldn't you? So as I say, not for bad purposes, but just like it would save time, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be useful, and you could just easily make videos and animation. I'd love to do. I tried like real basics years ago, like when it was nothing, but like animation. But that comes under computers, doesn't it? If you think that's a vast topic, anything and everything to do with computers. Yes, you want to know everything about cybersecurity then. I did say not in a bad way, but I'd like to delve in and just see all this nonsense that, like as I say, in cookies and things like that, just know, and yeah, just be able to do things quick and not go around searching. Is this in settings? How do you do it? Where's this? Even basically like that. That would be cool. Yeah, anything and everything to do with things you can do on computer. That would be useful. That would be useful. And anyone who doesn't know, my volunteers, one of them's got a drone and he's done me so much drone footage. He's doing a third one already. I have 4 of drone. I haven't had a chance to look at them yet. He did show me a little bit on his computer, and he's done all the stars at night. You can see shooting stars, all from my house. It's lovely. Blue saying, my friend is one of the top guys in the country. Ooh, for cybersecurity. He can walk in your house, take all your tech, and you can't stop him. Wow, that's awesome. Yes, it is. And I've now told him to put that he does drone work on his profile for Workaway Volunteer site. Because if you're like me, you would give anything for someone to come and do drone footage professionally, free of charge. So, yeah, if anyone's interested in that, you've got to do it through, obviously, the volunteering site Workaway. If you want the link, I can give that to you. And, yeah, I said, he said, yeah, but I've still got to come and do, like, the work or whatever. I said, no, you put that as your profile. You put that on your profile. It's so expensive to have that sort of thing done. If you've seen my husband Mike's channel, his channel's Olive Farm Retreat Cyprus, which is the name of our house. And he's got his intro, a little bit of drone footage over the width of our property. And that was someone we knew out here. He came and did that. And he's not about anymore, but he did that, and that's Mike's intro. Mike stole it for his channel now, and he's doing a third one already. I think Mike said these are 16 whatever it is, 16 things, 16 What would that be? I want to say bit. It's not a bit. 16 gigabytes. I don't know. 16 gigabytes. That sound right? Each. And he said he's edited some of it, but the one he's doing now, he's going to see if he's got time to edit, because obviously it takes up a lot of space. So yes, he's done the length of our property. He's done, on my other channel, I do walks, and I did a walk to the ravine, and I took him to the ravine and he droned down this steep ravine. So I've got footage of that. So what I might do is bring that video out again, just the bit at the ravine, not my whole walk there, show you it from my perspective, and then put his drone footage in. But I think I'm going to make several new intros. So it won't be one intro. I'm going to keep using these, and I'm going to make a video. I always do a video of what the volunteers did here. I've also got an interview I did with them. I've also got another really special thing. They bought some food. He's from Singapore and she's from Malaysia, and they bought food from their countries, and then we swapped with Cypriot food. So I've got a video on that. But I'm going to do a video. I filmed him doing his drone stuff, flying the drone. So that's going to be another video as well. Gigabytes. That's why I wanted to say bytes, or did I say bits? I said bits. That's old, isn't it? Bits. Computer bits. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. 16. Yeah, 16. Yes, gigabytes. That's it, Blue. That's it. Yeah, so next week I'm starting on Monday with, I've got a whiteboard full of things I need to edit. Absolutely full. I'll show you how full it is. Oh my goodness. Right, let me show you. Where are you? You're this way. There. So, oh no, not that way. This is all to edit just for this channel. I've been filming. That is all to edit. No, not for this channel, for my main channel. That is all to edit. It's all footage. I've been filming so much stuff, but not been editing it. And it's good. I like editing. There's some things I prefer editing to other things, but I enjoy it so much. But having that break from not editing, I want to get back into it so badly now with all this footage. It's cool. So I think I'll finish there. I've actually done over an hour, which is big for Friday. So I hope you enjoyed the additional content. Thank you, Blue, for being here. It's always nice to have some company on my lives. That's another reason I did reading, because obviously, as I say, it's a weird time for a lot of countries to come on live. So if I read things, I can talk to myself. Okie doke. So I think I'll finish there for today. Blue says, I've got a lot of footage I've filmed but not edited. I'm getting back into it slowly because I finally have internet. Yay. Yay. Okie doke. So I think now I'm going to watch some of these. I think I deserve that. I deserve that. So I'm going to watch a little bit of that. I've actually got to put it on my computer because Mike wants these back. These are Mike's. Oh, look, it says 16 gigabytes on it. Oh. Okie doke. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you if you're watching back later as well. Thank you for coming. Thank you to those who keep recommending my channel. That's really sweet. The most recent person was Treasure Woman. Treasure Woman was the most recent. I was just trying to think who was last. Treasure Woman was the last one. So thank you for that. That was a nice surprise when I suddenly saw that pop up. So that was very sweet. So as I say, I'm going to finish there. If only I could find my outro. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. So bye for now. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on this channel next Friday.